is a true story. It happened to a friend of mine, Mousy Marg, a school librarian who only ever had a date on like birthdays or Christmas. And they didn't call her Mousy Marg for nothing. I always thought a little lipstick or makeup might help. But then again, she was a librarian. Every year the school had a fundraiser and she would run the book sale. So she was out driving around collecting books, as if there aren't enough books already. Anyway, she had the worst sense of direction. I mean, she couldn't even find her way to the school washroom and she'd be working there for 8 years or something. So Marg got lost in some little town. She turned a corner and right there in front of her was this weird old occult bookshop. It was pretty creepy, but A, she needed directions, and B, maybe they give her some books for the book fair. So Marg went inside. From down there on the floor, all Marg could see was 2 legs, eerily backlit, coming toward her. It was this crazy-looking woman. She called herself Gladys, but it turns out Gladys was really happy to see someone. Anyone, even if they just scared her cat nearly to death. She told Marg she didn't get many visitors, but Marg wasn't really listening because she couldn't take her eyes off that eerie glow coming from the back room. Gladys told Marg that was her crystal ball. It seemed that Gladys was a fortune teller on the side. Then she asked Marg if she'd like her fortune told. Gladys got all weird and stuff from the crystal ball, and Marg was like dying to know whatever the crystal ball has to say. Gladys said she's got to get those doors fixed one of these days, and sat back down. Then, back at the crystal ball, and back in her trance, she predicted that Marg would meet the man of her dreams. You know, the tall, dark stranger sort of thing. But Gladys said that he's not a stranger, but he does have dark hair and that Marg already knows him. Well, Marg went nuts because she hadn't had a date in like 100 years, and every guy in the world is either married or a complete goof. Gladys got all solemn and told Marg that she herself had once met her soulmate and had a passionate romance, but he was lost at sea many years before. Marg swore that now she'd look at the guy she knows with an open heart. The next day, the mailman, who looked really sharp in his uniform, arrived and handed Marg a fistful of bills. No, not him. Then Marg took her precious little Zippy to the vet, and he really loves animals, but Zippy nearly scratched his eyes out. No, wasn't him either. Then Marg visited her local fishmonger, Clayton, who was really hot, by the way. He offered her a sample of his homemade crab cakes. Okay, why not? She bit into one and wow, her taste buds just freaked. She never tasted anything so great or seen anyone so, well, hot. It's like she'd noticing for the first time how beauteous and swarthy and how kinda, well, hot he was. And he even had this cool gold tooth. Turned out Clayton thought Marg was pretty hot too. So they go out on a few dates and fell madly in love. Next thing you know, they got married. After a while of delirious happiness, Marg remembered Gladys, the old fortune teller. She didn't know that her prediction actually came true. Marg decided to pay Gladys a little visit and she took a batch of crab cakes as a, thanks for my fabulous life kind of thing. After all, the crab cakes were what brought them together in the first place. Gladys was happy to hear Marg's great news, but not too surprised, because she fancied herself a pretty incredible fortune teller. Marg offered her a crab cake, made by none other than her new gorgeous, fantastic husband. Gladys took a bite, and just like that, her face went white. Marg thought she was having a conniption fit or thought she maybe poisoned her or something. There's only one man in the world who makes crab cakes this good, cried Gladys. Marg's Clayton was actually Gladys's Clayton, her long-lost at sea true love. This is a true story. It happened to a friend of mine. Marg and Clayton are still happily ever after and stuff. But Gladys got her revenge. She's a millionaire. She figured out the recipe for the crab cakes, and now she owns Gladys's Crab Cakes to go. Franchises all over the world.